Something unprecedented is happening in America right now. President Trump has been sending National Guard troops into Democrat run cities across the country. Democrat is the political party, the Democrats are the political party in opposition to the ruling, you could say, political party in the US right now, the Republicans. Think of it as blue versus red. Red is led by Trump, obviously. Now, the National Guard being deployed has been a thing that Trump's been doing in several cities, in several states over the last few weeks and months. And Chicago is the latest city in Trump's crosshairs. That's America's third largest city. And the National Guard, remember, are basically like the reserve forces for the US military. So it's a component of the military, right? Now, what's crazy is the states the National Guard are being deployed into are not happy about it, but it's being forced upon them. In some cases, the states have tried to stop it. They've appealed to the legal framework, the legal institution, the judiciary in the US, and Trump has just ignored them or overruled them, putting huge strain now on the federal individual state relationship. Because remember, the US is a federation, right? It's a federal republic, meaning each state is like a really well integrated country into a greater United States of America. That's why it's called the United States. It's like if Europe had their countries get closer together and eventually formed a United States of Europe. It's like that. So the relationship between, Spain and Germany and the EU, it's closer in America, state versus state. But the federal, which is the thing that sort of lords over all of it, it's causing severe strain with the states because they're forcing the National Guard upon them. Since June of this year, over 4,000 troops have been deployed, for example, to Los Angeles, California, despite the governor of California, Gavin Newsom's fierce objection. California, mind you, is the second largest city in the US. So Trump is he's going through it. A federal judge later ruled that his deployment of the National Guard violated the Posse Comitatus Act, the law that keeps military forces out of domestic policing. Acts and laws and legals, it can get all wordy and da 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 da. And I'm very wordy, but I try to be wordy in a sort of more conversational way, right? So the Posse Comitatus Act, think of it as our country's military shouldn't be deployed in the country, this to be used against the civilians. It's our military is not the one that rules the civilians. Our civilians rule the military, and we send our military out to other countries or to defend our borders or whatever, right? We don't use our military within the state. It kind of reminds me of Julius Caesar of the Roman Republic, who crossed the Rubicon with his army and basically marched and occupied Rome with Rome's own military. And the Senate freaked out. I'm going to do a video on it because it's really interesting over on my history page, newsbaba.history. So check that out when that comes out, hopefully later today. It's where the phrase crossed the Rubicon comes from, which basically means you've gone beyond the point of no return. You've done something that's now going to set in motion an irreversible chain of events. Very dramatic, and it was dramatic. It actually led to the fall of the Republic, kind of Rome. So, and it turned into an empire under emperors. So anyway, Trump didn't stop after the judiciary said you violated the Posse Comitatus Act. You deployed troops within American cities against that. Trump carried on. 2,000 more National Guard were deployed to Washington, D.C., the capital, next. Apparently, according to Trump, the city of D.C. Was suffering from rampant crime and lawlessness. Yeah, so dangerous. His opponents pointed out that statistics showed that the city had crime that hasn't been lower. The city has a 10-year record low crime rate, but Trump doesn't let statistics get in the way of his strong, necessary actions. So, next, Portland. Next, Chicago. Let's just keep going, eh? The pattern is clear. Every single deployment targets cities run by Trump's opposition party in America, the Democrats. So, for those, I actually wrote in my notes, for those who don't know, and I made some notes about Democrats and Republicans, I'm being completely honest here. I already mentioned that though, so I'm just going to skip past that. Democrats are the blues, the Republicans are the reds. The reds are currently in power, and Trump has really been sort of clamping down or taking action against the Democrats during this latest term of his. So he's deploying the national. I don't know why my accent changed there. Let's try again. So he's deploying the National Guard to flex control of cities currently run by the party in opposition to him. I'm flexing, but it's not working. Let's just put my muscle away. Now in Portland, another city where Trump wanted to deploy National Guard, he tried to send 200 Oregon, that's another state, right? Oregon, Portland, Oregon. No, he tried to deploy the Oregon National Guard into Portland. And a Trump appointed, so this is kind of on his side, a Trump appointed federal judge blocked it, calling the justification by Trump insufficient to deploy National Guard. So what did the White House do? He said, okay, don't worry about the Oregon National Guard. We'll tuck those away. I'm going to take National Guard from California, another state completely, right? I'm going to take 300 of their National Guard and I'm going to deploy it. And Portland, Oregon blocked that. And he said, okay, I'm going to activate the Texan National Guard. Yeehaw, babes. I don't know why I said babes. Damn it. Unscripted, guys. Well, at least unedited. There is a script / notepad behind my phone camera. Anyway, so he tried to deploy 400 Texan National Guard. I won't try a Texan accent anymore. I won't inflict that upon you. And he succeeded. Trump recently even made a comment during the 800 general meeting that I covered on earlier TikTok post. He made a comment about using US cities as training grounds for the military. He's not making it easy to defend him. Not that I'm a Trump defender or apologist, but I'm an analyst, and it's hard to stay neutral when you're analyzing idiotic behavior. It is a bit silly. Even Republicans will admit. I'm sure there's Republicans watching this. They'll be like, Muffles, you're clearly a Democrat. I'm not. I'm not even an American. Some people, racists in my country, say I'm not even a British citizen. Because, brown. Anyway, loads of people heard what Trump said about deploying National Guard, potentially deploying the military to brushing up, sharpen up their skills, use US cities as training grounds. They were like, excuse me, what? That doesn't sound good. Legal experts and Democratic governors are calling all of what's going on now federal overreach, meaning the federal government, is going too far, warning that militarizing responses to unrest, protest, political disagreements is pushing America towards severe internal conflict. I read that as you're all heading towards civil war. Good luck. Now, let's wrap up with some geopolitical assessments. For the Titan of North America and the Western world that puts the Titan, the US, at its center, right, militarily, economically, diplomatically, all this internal strife is bad news. If it gets worse, we could be seeing recalculations on a global scale. American allies will have to keep adjusting to a former clear leader, the US, now absent because it's too busy punching itself in the face. And global South nations may take the opportunity, with America weakening itself, to make moves that they would never have dreamed of making when America was stronger and well in control of the situation. Hegemonic global control after the collapse of the Soviet Union. It was more focused on looking outwards. Now it's focused on looking inwards, and the rest of the countries might be like, whoa, wait, what? The guy with the big brother vibes, he's gone? Okay, I'm gonna make some moves, right? Mind you, that's already the American trajectory. That's already been happening, and global South countries have already been moving, and Western allies of America have already been readjusting. But further deterioration in American stability means nations will course correct for a new reality, right? If America were to go into civil war next year, for example, every nation that was already adjusting to America's decline would have to adjust more. They would have to readjust because the decline would be more rapid if America went into civil war like that. Geopolitics is a game of constant course correction at a state level. And for better or worse, China is likely to take any lull in American cohesion as an opportunity to quietly keep building, quietly keep advancing, and keep strengthening their own hand. And I'll keep you posted on American stuffs as things develop. And for the unbiased news and analysis without the Western spin, I'm Mahfouz, and I'll see you on the next one. If you want to support me, watch these videos on the tube.